Let's get started once again where we left. And if I come to navigate here and pick rotation with, by mouse and pick my rotation point. So we want to go straight and start placing or creating connections between these two. So how do you do that? First of all, to make this look a little bit presentable, let me just turn this to a different color. They collect to a different color of that, and slightly to make it somehow uniform like that. So the next thing, I'm going to create a connection between these two. But creating connection is key because you must know the tool that you are going to use that will make your connection effective. So I'll come to applications and component here. So in here, and I can use this brace tower command, but uh, still applicable, but you pick what is effective. So let's first of all define my my plate here, because we are going to create a connection here with the base with the plate. So to define that, let's first of all get the midpoint between this end and this end here. So I'll come to points here, edit, and to get the point tool, I'll come to online point. So I want to pick 2 points to get the middle point of the 2 points here, like this one here. This is the target point. So I want to offset this point at a distance of 156 at a distance of 156. So let me just do some maths here. 150. Oh, let me just get rid of that 156. I'll divide by 2 and I'll have 78 in place. So that's what you have. So I'll have to offset these by 78 both ways. I'll come to linear. So under linear, I'll go to X direction here and prefix my dimension by 78 right there. And I only need 1 here, I don't need 2. I'll go ahead and click that. You can see the point, we have the point here. That the point resemble the color of this member, so that shouldn't worry you. I'll go ahead and select copy and pick this member from here and place it right on top of this. So I'll have this point here. So since the height of this plate will be 240, and our point definition starts at the edge, so that might not match properly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick these 2 points here. And once I pick that, I right click and come to special copy, or pick copy here the way it is. Then I'll pick it from the edge here. So once I picked it from the edge, I'll snap right to the center at the back of that member. So we'll have the points here, like I have this point and have this point. I can see them. And if I pick on the 2 points here, I'll right click and come to special copy here and offset that by 120 on the z-axis, or on the z direction. So I'll click copy, and the same spot, I'll prefix that dimension with a negative sign and click copy. So we have 120 both ways. You can see here. We can also confirm that it is 120, actually 120. If I click on that, you can see that's the 240. So the 240, 120 start and terminates here, and this one was 156. So let's just create a contour plate here using under steel, then come to plate, click on the drop down arrow under plate to get more tools under plate. So let's pick to plate there and follow these points here. So under this point, we are going to create a plate, an 8mm thick plate. If you double click on that, you'll be able to see this is 8mm thick plate. So in here also, we'll have to define the bolts location. The bolts location will be key. So that will be relative to the center of this particular plate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to edit and come to points right here and pick on the online point, and I'll snap right at the center here and snap right at the center there. So I have a center point somewhere here. This is the center of this. So from here, I want to offset it up by 85 and down here by 85. So right click and come to special copy here and give a dimension upward by probably 85 and click copy. So I have my 85 upward. So I can as well just copy that by using this handle here, that, and copy that direction, and use these two and copy them on the z on the x direction. So I'll use special copy, and I want to offset this way on the x-axis, both by 48. So I have to prefix the first one, prefix this dimension by 48, and that, and remove that prefix of negative by of 48, so we have that in place. So this will be positions of the holes, so that we'll leave it as it is. And the same points, I'm going to use the same points to create a u-bolt here. So to create that, I'll come to navigate, and I want to use the same points here. I want to use the same points to create a u-bolt here. So you can see, you can see that. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to create some guiding points in creating the bolt, a U-bolt. So I'm going to use these two points here. So these 2 points, I'm going to select them and come to special copy and pick on linear. So under linear, I'll check the direction of my z-axis, and I'll populate this along the y-axis by 130. Let me just get rid of that, and I want to prefix that down 130 with a negative sign, like that. So we'll move on that direction. So you see these points, 2 points that we've given an offset from the surface of this plate. This will help us in creating a U-bolt here. So I'll begin by following the points I've just created by going to steel and picking a polybeam tool here. So I'll pick on that spot and come to that spot and come to that spot and come to that spot and press my middle button on the mouse. So you can see that member is a default member, so we have to change this to a rod. So I'll double click on it. So once I've double clicked on it, I'll come to profile here, and under that profile, click on that button. So under this button, I'll come to circular sections. So I'll give you some time to rotate, to load everything. So once it has been loaded, I'll be able to pick a profile that will bend to take a U shape that will define a U bolt thing that will be used to tie this to the first leg of the mast tower. So let me come to circular sections, not hollow sections here. I'll come to circular sections here. Let me just scroll. So I'll come to circular sections and pick a D profile. So I'll just type need that and click apply and give it an OK. So once I've given it an OK, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click apply. So once we are inside here, you can see it is taking a shape that, if you're not careful enough, you might start checking that what is this, and we want to give it some chamfers here to make it a U profile. So you shouldn't worry why it's coming over beyond this brace. So I'm going to pick these handles or these nodes, and the moment I click on this node, the chamfer tool, corner chamfer tools pops up, and I'll have some options here. I'll click on that and pick that line that resembles a chamfer, and I'll key in here 30 on the y and x axis and 30, and I'll have that defined. But that is not the right one we want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo, and I click that and pick a round one. So round one will define a radius. So if I put 30 there and click modify, I'll be able to have a round chamfer, and do the same thing here, pick a round, and you define, will have a round chamfer, but is not as sharp as would like it. We can add that and come here and select this node here and make it 40. So once we've made it 40, we can come here and bring it forth or bring it forward. So I'll select this U profile, then right click and come to special move here and pick on linear. So under linear, I'll check the orientation of my XYZ position. So I'm going to move it in the direction of X, or direction Y axis by just adding a value there, and click move repeatedly until it touches, until it has some grip on this leg tower as it is now, And remember, we still have a gap here, and that gap will be filled by a deformed rebar that will add some more grip on this. So that will add later on. That's why we've left that small gap there, because if you leave the plate directly on this leg, it might slide, and it might come down, and the rest will depend on these struts or bracings that will be subjected to some strain that at some time they might break. So we add some deformed rebars in between the leg and the plate here. So we have these in place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going straight and copy this. And prior to copying that, I want to copy it at the bottom end when it's complete. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just to create or define a center of this U bolt, and by coming to edit and coming to points here and pick online. So I want to use these polygons to define the center of that member, of that member. So I have the center here. So I want to offset this center towards me at a distance of probably of maybe of maybe 20 or 40. Let me just give it 40, but in a positive direction. You can see that. So I'm using these 2 points to create a member that I'll customize as a bolt that will be used here. Remember, we'll create a hole on this plate using the same U member. So I'll come to steel here and pick on the beam. So I want to use these 2 points. Snap on the points that I've just created here. I'm missing the point here. So let me just click undo. So instead of copying, I moved the point. So let me just come to copy. And once I'm in copy, I'll come under Y here and just key in 40. So I have these 2 points here, you can see. So I'm going to use these 2 points to create something that will resemble actually a bolt. So in here, if I double click that, I'll be able to change this to the middle, shift it to the middle position. So it will be in the middle position of this. So I want to convert it into a nut instead of a bolt. So I'll come to profile and click on that button right there. And the moment I click on that, I'll be able to access the steel profile catalog right here. So from here, I'll be able to get the right component that will define it or customize as a bolt. So under here, I'll minimize anything that I don't want to see, then scroll down to others. Once I'm under others, I'll be able to scroll and pick something that will resemble a nut. So if I come here, I'll be able to pick something that looks like nut. So this is a nut. So this nut, I'll make it uh, maybe 20. I can just leave it at 20 the way it is and click apply and give it an OK, because we'll modify it further as you see how it works there. So if I click on that, I'll be able to have this as a nut. So inside here, I can add this, I can make this to be 40, make it slightly bigger. So this is super big, and it shouldn't be like this. So we can make it 24, and the length of our bolt is slightly bigger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick rotate and turn it around like that. So what I'm going to do once again, I'm going to double click on it, and I want to shorten the length. So the length can be maybe 10 like that. So once I'm under there, I'll be able to select on this. So once I've selected on that, I'll be able to move it inward to come into contact, to add some grip to the tower leg. So I'm going to select it and come to special move here and pick on linear. So once I'm under linear, I'll check the direction of the y-axis. As you can see, it's facing us. So I'm going to prefix my dimension by 10, then click move. So we'll move it until it touches our plate. So slightly it touches our plate, but we need more grip. We need more grip. Exactly, it's where it should be. It's where it should be. and we can further reduce the thickness of our bolt by probably a 10 millimeter. I'll select on it once again and come here and maybe give it 20. So under 20 there, I'll be able to select that and pick on that and pick on that. So we have that in place. So we have some nuts here. I can give it the same colors of bolts and nuts. So let me just pick on that and come here and probably change that to the right color of bolts and nuts. Let me just pick that and come here and select on that and come here and pick the best color for that. So we have that in place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this, press Control and select on that, and I'll come here and pick on copy and try to snap right at the center of that. So it's not right, not at the center. That's a problem now. So I'll come and do that and come to edit here and come to points here and pick online. So I want to use these polygon points here, here and here. That will define the point, the center point of that. So I'll select the two bolts. Remember, I'll use this member to create a hole between the bolts. So I'll come to edit. So under edit here, let me come to edit. I'm going to use edit. If I get some tools, so I'm going to use part. I want to cut this part using this part. So I want to cut this part using this part also. So if I try hide this, you'll be able to see this is a hole. So let's not go into that, because we were trying to save some time here. So let me copy that from that spot and to that spot. So we have our bolts in place. So the same thing I'm going to do is to copy this member. Select on that, press Control, select that, select this, select that, then right click and come to Special Copy. And I want to copy it from that center and bring it right to that center. So let me check whether we've done the right thing. I'll come to New and come to Navigate. Remember, you can press Control and rotate that. So you can see we have that in place. So this is just to grip this, and this member will be welded on the plate permanently. So that's the point we've reached, and I hope we'll meet on the next presentation, because we are now way off our time target. So we've gone all the way to 17 minutes, which is really strange. Nowadays we don't go to such so many minutes. But our main target is just to get you started if you want to create something similar to this. So let's meet then on the next presentation, and as we continue doing this project. So bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and let's meet then.